Hello students, welcome to the third lecture on the lecture series on simple interest. Okay, so what we have covered in this topic so far is we have covered some exercise problems and we have covered all the type of concepts and types of problems that are being usually asked in various competitive exams. So we'll continue to do some more exercise problems so that we can get our base ready for doing the previous year questions. Okay, after that we will be completely ready for this topic. Okay, so let's see what are the exercise problems. So this will be the third lecture on this lecture series on simple interest. So let's see the problem number 1. So the simple interest on a principal amount of 1200 is 180 at an interest rate of 6% per year. So how many years was the money invested? So SI is equal to PRT by 100 when R is given in percentage form. Okay, so this will be what? So principal amount is 1200 into R is equal to 6%. So into T is not available here. We assume the number of years or amount of years is equal to T here. Okay. So this by 100 is equal to given to us as 180, right? So 180. So this implies that 180 into 100, right, is equal to 1200 into 6 into T. So this implies that T is equal to what? 18. So 18,000 by 1200 into 6. Okay, so by dividing by 6, what we are left with is 3000, right? So 3000 by 1200. Okay, so cancelling these two zeros out from here, so what we are left with is 30 by 12 is equal to, so 30 by 12 is equal to what? 15 by 6, right? So it will be this. So let's see the step-by-step solution. So using the formula, simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time, that is equal to PRT by 100 when the rate is given in percentage terms. So rearranging the formula to solve for the time, okay, letting the time to go to the left hand side and the others all known forms in the right hand side. Substituting the given values, what we are left with is this much amount. So 18,000 by 7200 is equal to 2.5 years. Okay, so the money was invested for 2.5 years. So T is equal to 2.5 for this case right here. Okay, so if the simple interest on a principal amount of 1200 is actually 180 at an interest rate of 6% per year, then it was invested for 2.5 years. So let's see problem number 2. A sum of money earns simple interest of 250. So SI is equal to 250, right, at an interest rate of 8% per year. Okay, so I is equal to 8% per year. So if the time period is 5 years, what is the principal amount? So here P is unknown. So SI is equal to what? PRT by 100, right? So P is unknown here. So let P be on the left hand side and all the other terms in the right hand side. So it will be equal to SI into 100 whole by RT, right? So SI is given to us as 250. Okay, as you can see here, this is the SI, right? And into 100, right? So whole by R into T. So R will be what? R is given as 8% per year. Okay, so R is equal to 8. So T is what? It is 5, right? So 5. So by dividing 250 by 5, what we are left with is 50, right? So 50 by 8 into 100 is equal to, so this will be 25 by 4. So this is equal to 12 by 2, 12.5 by 2 into 100, right? So this is equal to nothing but 1250 by 2 is equal to 625. So 625 must be the principal amount, right? So let's see. So principal is simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time by 100, right? So principal is equal to what? Simple interest into 100 by time into rate. If we take the principal to the LHS, because it is the unknown part and all the known parts to the right hand side, what we are left with is this formula, right? So substituting all the given values, what we are left with is 250 into 100 by 8 into 5, right? It is nothing but 25,000 by 40 is equal to what? 625 only. Okay, so the principal amount is nothing but 625. So let's see problem number 3. A certain amount of money earns a simple interest of 720 at an interest rate of 6% per year. So if the principal amount is 6,000, so for how many years was the money invested? Okay, so certain amount of money earns a simple interest of 720 at an interest rate of 6. So SI is given to us. And interest rate is equal to I is equal to 6% is given to us. So if the principal amount is what? So P is given to us. So SI is equal to PRT by 100, right? So this implies that SI is given to us as 720 and P is given to us as 6000, right? And R is given to us as 6%. So we have to divide it by 100 and there is T unknown. So we have assumed the number of years is equal to T. So letting T to the left hand side, what we are left with is 6000. So it will be 720 into 100, 6000 into 6. So it will be 120, right? So by cutting the 0 out from the numerator and 0 and denominator, what we are left with is 12 by 6 is equal to 2. So T must be equal to 2. So this implies that T must be equal to 2. So if a certain amount of money earns a simple interest of 720 at an interest of 6% per year, and the given principal amount that is being invested is 6000 here, and then how many years was the money invested? It was invested for 2 years. Okay, so using the formula for simple interest, what we can assume is simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time by 100, right? So rearranging the formula to solve for time, that is keeping the time into the left hand side as it is the unknown here, and all the other known terms in the right hand side, because we know the simple interest, principal, rate. Okay, simple interest is 720 and it is multiplied by 100, and in the denominator what we have is principal into rate, that is equal to 6000 into rate is equal to 6%. So substituting these values, what we are left with is 720 into 100 whole by 6000 into 6 is equal to 36000. So 72,000 by 36,000 is equal to what? 2 years, right? So the money was actually invested for 2 years. So this is the correct answer. So let's see problem number 4. So Dipali deposited what? 9,000 rupees in savings account with a simple interest rate of 4% per annum. Okay. If she earned 1440 in interest, how long did she leave her money in the account? Okay. So deposited amount is this. So we can say that this is the principal amount. Okay. Simple interest rate is 4%. So I is equal to 4. P is equal to this much. I is equal to 4. If she earned this much amount in interest, so SI is given as 1440, right? Then how long did she leave her money in the account? So here again we are asked about T, right? So SI is equal to PRT by 100, right? So this implies that SI is given as 1440. This is equal to P is equal to 9000 into R is 4 into T is unknown. So we assume T as the number of years. So by 100, right? This implies that as we have previously done, what we do is we keep the T, that is the unknown term, in the left hand side and all the known terms in the right hand side. So 9000, 1440 into 100 by 9000 into 4, right? So this will be what? So cancelling the zeros out from here in the numerator and denominator, what we are left with is, we are left with 144 by 9 into 4, that is equal to 36. Okay, so 36 into 4, so it will be 4 years, right? So using the simple interest formula to find the time, that is in years. Okay, so time is equal to simple interest into 100, right? So principal into rate in the denominator. So what we are left with is this much. So this is 144,000 by 36,000, that is equal to 4 years. Okay, so Dipali left her money in the account for 4 years. Okay, and got this much amount in interest. So if Dipali deposited this much amount in the savings account and the interest rate was something like 4% per annum, then she earned this much in interest, then she left her money in the bank account, savings account, for 4 years. Okay, so 4 years is the answer here. So let's see problem number 5. Ritik invested 12,000 in a simple interest savings account, okay, with an annual interest rate of 8%. So if he earned this much amount in interest, how many years did he left his money in the account? Okay, so invested this much amount, so this is equal to P. Okay, simple interest with an annual interest of this much, so I is equal to 8, right? So he earned this much in interest, so SI is equal to this. How many years? Again we can use the formula, but SI is equal to PRT by 100, because R is in percentage here. So this implies that 3840. So 3840 in simple interest is equal to what? The principal is 12,000. So 12,000 into r. R is equal to what? 8 here, and t is unknown here, so we left it as t. So by 100, right, because the rate is in percentage here. So this will be 3840 into 100 whole by 12,000 into 8 is equal to t. So this implies that by cancelling the zeros, okay, what we are left with is t is equal to 384 whole by 8 into 12, right? So this will be equal to what? 192, and this will be 4. So this will be what? 96 by 2. So this will be 48, right? 48. So 12 into 4 is equal to 48. So this will be 4. So he left his money for 4 years in the account. Okay. So let's do the step-by-step solution, that is using the simple interest formula to find the time, right? So SI into 100 by principal into rate of interest after taking the time, that is the unknown term here into the left hand side, and taking all the known terms in the right hand side. So time is equal to what? SI into 100 by principal into rate of interest. This is equal to this much. So this is nothing but 4 years, as we have calculated right here. Okay. So Ritik left his money in the account for 4 years to earn this much amount, that is 3,840 in the interest rate. Okay, using the simple interest. So let's see problem number 6. An amount of 2,000 earns a simple interest of 240 at an interest rate of 6% per year. So what is the change in principal after the interest is earned? Okay. So this much amount in simple interest per year. Okay. So amount of principal that is changed is equal to what? So this much after, so adding these two, what we are left with is 2240, right? This much will be the final amount. A is equal to what? P plus SI. So P is equal to 2000 here, and SI is equal to what? It's given to us 240, right? So the difference between the principal and interest earned is, after the interest earned is, so A minus P is equal to what? SI. That is equal to nothing but 240, right? So change in principal is equal to principal amount plus simple interest. So the change in principal after the interest is earned is 2240. Okay, so this is the changed value. So the difference will be 240. Okay, the changed value will be this much. So difference is equal to 240. That is 2240 minus 2000, right? So let's see problem number 7. So an amount of 5,000 earns a simple interest of 750 at an interest rate of 5% per year. So what is the change in principal after the interest is earned? So 5,750 will be the changed value after interest is earned. Okay. 5750 minus 5,000. Okay, this is equal to 750. So at an interest rate of 5% per year. Okay, so this will be the difference amount, and after the interest is earned, this will be the changed amount, changed value. Okay, as we have written here. So change in principal is equal to principal amount plus simple interest. So change in principal after the interest is earned is what? 5750. Okay, so let's see problem number 8. An amount of 8,000 earns a simple interest of this much amount at an interest rate of this much. What is the change in principal? So change in principal is equal to principal value, original principal value, plus the interest earned, that is 640. This is equal to 8640. Okay, so the difference will be what? Difference is equal to the changed value minus original value, that is 8640 minus 8,000 is equal to 640. That is the amount of interest earned. Okay, so the changed value will be 8640. So calculating the change in principal is equal to what? Principal amount plus simple interest. So change in principal after the interest is earned is 8640. So let's see problem number 9. So Aryan invested what? 5,000, okay, in savings account with a simple interest of 4% per annum. After 2 years, he deposited an additional of 2,000 into the same account. Okay, so calculate the new total amount in the account after 3 years. So this much is the principal amount. Okay, simple interest is 4%. So SI is equal to 5,000 into 4 by 100 into T, right? So with the interest for after 2 years. So let T is equal to 2 at this case. Okay, so it will be up by cancelling the zeros. What we are left with is 200 into 2 is equal to 400. So simple interest will be 400 for these 2 years. So after 2 years, he deposited an additional of 2000 into the same account. Okay. So calculate the new total amount in the account after 3 years. Okay. So this much simple interest has been until now. So now the SI for third year is equal to what? 5000 plus 2000, that is equal to 7000, because the new amount invested is 7000 for the fiscal year of 3. Okay. The third fiscal year. So it will be what? 7000 into rate is that much, that is 4 into t is equal to 1 here. So this is equal to whole by what? 100, right? So by cutting the zeros out from here, so 70, so 240, 280, right? So 280 is the answer for the third year. So SI is equal to SI2 plus SI3 is equal to 400 plus 280 is equal to 680. Okay, so the total amount of interest earned is this much, and the total amount is equal to 7000 plus, it will be 7000 plus 680 is equal to 7680. So this will be the final amount. So this much, that is 400 for the initial 2 years, right? So time is equal to 2 given as here. Okay, using the formula S is equal to PRT by 100, right? So the total amount is equal to principal plus SI. So 5000 plus 400 is equal to this much amount. Okay, calculate the interest rate and on the additional 2000 for 1 year. So it will be 80. So calculating the new total amount will be this much. Okay, so the new total amount in the account after 3 years will be 7480. Okay, so let's see problem number 10. So current deposited 7500. Okay, in a simple interest savings account with an annual interest rate of 6%. After 1 year, he withdrew 2000 for an unexpected expense. So calculate the new principal amount remaining in the account after the withdrawal. Okay, so let's see. For the initial 1 year, on the initial principal of 7500, calculating the initial interest earned. Okay, so simple interest is equal to what? Principal amount into rate of interest into time, that is equal to PRT whole by 100, because rate of interest is given in percentage here. So SI is equal to what? 7500 into 6 into 1. So whole by 100 using this formula. Okay, we have just put the data into the formula. So what we are left with is 450. So calculating the total amount after 1 year is equal to what? Total amount is equal to principal plus SI. Okay, so principal is nothing but 7500 plus SI is equal to 450. So 7950 is the correct answer. So after withdrawing, okay, then what he did was he withdrew 2000. Then the new principal amount will be what? 7950 minus 2000 is equal to 5950. Correct answer. Okay. So let's see problem number 11. So a person borrows 2000 and plans to repay it in 4 equal annual installments with an interest rate of 5% per year. Okay, so the calculate the annual installment amount. So calculating the total interest is equal to what? Total interest is equal to principal into interest rate into time is equal to, because we didn't divide it here by what? 100, because the interest rate we have converted it to the decimal form, not in the percentage form. If we have written it in the percentage form, that is 2000 into 5 into 4, then we have to divide it by 100. Okay, so it is nothing but equal to 400. So calculating the total repayment amount is equal to principal plus total amount, total interest, that is equal to 2000 plus 400 is equal to 2400. So for 4 years we have to divide this into an easy installment scheme. So for each scheme or for each year, the installment will be 600, because 2400 by 4 is equal to what? 600. So the annual installment amount is nothing but 600. So let's see problem number 12. So a loan of 5000 is to be repaid in 5 equal annual installments. Okay, so if the rate of interest is 8% per year, calculating the annual installment amount. So calculating the total interest is equal to what? Principal into interest rate into time. Here interest rate is in decimal form, that's why we didn't divide it by 100. Okay, so 5000 into 5 is equal to 25,000. Whole into 0.08 is equal to what? 2000. Okay, so calculating the total repayment amount is equal to principal plus total interest. So 5000 plus 2000 is equal to 7000. So calculating the annual installment amount is equal to total repayment by number of installments. So number of installment is 5 year and total repayment is equal to 7000. So 7000 by 5 is equal to 1400. So annual installment amount is 1400 in this case. Okay. So let's see problem number 13. A person borrows 10,000 and decides to repay it in 6 equal annual installments. So if the interest rate is 10% per year, find the annual installment amount if the first installment is made at the end of first year. Okay, so calculating the total interest is equal to what? Principal into interest rate into time. So 10,000 into 0.10 into 6 is equal to 6,000, right? So calculating the total repayment amount. So total repayment is equal to principal plus total interest is equal to 10,000 plus 6,000 is equal to 16,000, right? So calculating the total annual installment amount will be equal to annual installment amount is equal to total repayment by number of installments, that is equal to 16,000 by 6. So 2666.67 approximately. So the annual installment amount is approximately 2666.67. Okay, this will be the correct answer. So let's see problem number 14. Maria borrowed what? 10,000 from a bank at a simple interest rate. Okay, SI is equal to PRT by 100, right? When R is given in percentage form, right? So 6% per annum is the interest rate. So she plans to repay the loan in 5 equal installments, annual installments. So to calculate the amount of each installment, for that what we need to do is calculate the total interest. So calculate the interest for the entire loan amount will be principal into rate of interest into time by 100, because rate of interest is given in percentage here. So this will be nothing but 6. So this is equal to, so by cutting the zeros out from here, what we are left with is 600 into 5 is equal to 300. So there is a slight typo here. So what we are left with is 3,000. Okay. So calculate the total repayment amount. So total repayment is equal to principal plus SI is equal to 10,000 plus 3,000 is equal to 13,000. So dividing total repayment amount by number of installment to get the amount of each installment. Okay. So it will be total repayment by number of installment. So total repayment is what we have calculated, 13,000, right? So 13,000 by 5 is equal to 2,600. So 2,600 will be the amount of each installment annually that is being need to paid. So Maria needs to pay 2,600 for each annual installment. Okay. So let's see problem number 15. So Ram borrowed 8,000 from a friend and plans to repay the loan in 4 equal quarterly installments. So here the amount is quarterly. Okay. So just remember this term. So installment at the simple interest rate of 5% per annum. Okay. So calculate the amount of each quarterly installment. So convert the annual rate to a quarterly rate. So 5 by 4% is equal to 1.25% per quarter, right? So SI is equal to PRT by 100, principal into rate of interest into time by 100. So this is nothing but this much amount. So that is nothing but 400%. Okay. So here it will be 1.25% because this much amount per quarter. Okay. So calculating the total repayment amount is equal to principal plus SI. So 8,000 plus 400 is equal to 8,400. So dividing the total repayment amount by the number of installment, because the number of installment is equal to 4 as we are paying it quarterly. Okay, paying the easy installments quarterly. So 8,400 by 4 is equal to 2,100. So 2,100 is the amount that Ram needs to pay each quarterly as installment. Okay. So let's see problem number 16. Okay. If an amount of 5,000 is invested at a rate of 8% per year for 2 years, then calculate the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest. Okay, so calculating the simple interest is what? PR into T by 100, right? That is the principal amount into rate of interest into time by 100, where a rate of interest is in percentage, because that's why we have divided by 100. So 5,000 into 8 into 2 by 100. So it will be what? 800, right? So calculating the compound interest. So the formula for compound interest is P into 1 plus R by 100 whole power T minus P, right? Because this formula is for total amount. So subtracting P from it, what we get is we get the compound interest. So here R is in percentage, right? That is why we have divided it by 100. So 5,000 into 1 plus 8 by 100 whole power 2 minus 5,000. So 5832 minus 5,000 is equal to 832. So finding the difference, so compound interest minus simple interest is equal to 832 minus 800 is equal to 32. So the difference between the compound interest and simple interest is actually approximately 32. Okay. So let's see problem number 17. So an amount of 8,000 is invested at a rate of 10% per year for 3 years. So calculate the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest. Okay. So calculating the simple interest is PRT by 100, where R is given in percentage form. P is the principal amount, R is the rate of interest, T is the time period. 8000 into 10 into 3 by 100, so 2400. So compound interest is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 whole power T minus P, because this is formula for amount, and amount, total amount minus what? Principal amount is equal to the interest that we got, that is here the compound interest. So 8000 into 1 plus 0.1 whole power 3 is minus 8000. So it will be 10,648 minus 8000, that is equal to nothing but 2648. So finding the difference, so 2648 minus 2400, that is equal to compound interest minus simple interest will be 248. So the difference between compound interest and simple interest is 248 in this case. Okay. So let's see problem number 18. So the amount 12,000 is actually invested at a rate of 12% per year for 5 years. Then calculate the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest earned. So simple interest is equal to PRT by 100, that is equal to 12,000 into 12 into 5 by 100 is equal to 7200. And compound interest is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 whole power T minus P. So 21,148.1 minus 12,000 is equal to 9,148. So the difference is equal to 9,148.1 minus 7,200, that is equal to 1,948.1. Okay. So if we subtract the simple interest from the compound interest, the remaining amount, that the difference is 1948.1. So the difference between compound interest and simple interest is approximately this much, that is 1948.1 rupees. So let's see problem number 19. So Aditi invested 10,000 in a savings account with a simple interest rate of 5%, okay, per annum, while her friend invested the same amount in a different account with compound interest at the same rate. After 5 years, compare the total amount Aditi and her friend have in their respective accounts. So Aditi's simple interest account will be what? SI is equal to PRT by 100 is equal to 10,000 into 5 whole by 100. So it will be 2,500. So calculate the amount Aditi has after 5 years. It will be 12,500, right? Because the principal amount plus SI is equal to 12,500. So her friend's compound interest account will have A is equal to P into 1 plus R by N whole power N into T. Since the compounding is done annually, so N is equal to 1 here. So A is equal to 10,000 into 1 plus 0.05 whole power 1 into 5 is equal to 12,762.82. So the difference will be what? 262.8. Okay. So Aditi's friend has higher total amount due to compound interest. So let's see problem number 20. So Pragya invested 8,000 in a savings account with a simple interest of 6% per year. So while her brother invested the same amount in a different account with compound interest at the same rate, after 4 years, compare the total amount Pragya and her brother have in their respective accounts. So Pragya's simple interest account will be what? SI is equal to PRT by 100. So 8,000 into 6 into 4 by 100, because 6 is in percentage here. So 1920 is the correct answer here for Pragya's interest account. So Pragya's total amount will be 9,920 by adding principal amount with simple interest. So her brother's account will have total amount as P into 1 plus R by N whole power N into T. So it will be 1.06 power 4 into 8,000. So it will be what? 10,100 approximately. So 9,920, 10,100. So the difference will be basically 180 about. Okay. And her brother will have more money than Pragya because of compound interest. Okay. So that's enough for now. Thank you.